Well, day one of practice, and my truck battery flattened out last night. I must have left something running or left something on, I'm not sure. But look who's here to save the day again. Mr. Jake Kinney. You want both blacks or both reds?
I want both reds. I like them pretty good.
Well, there's Mr. Jake saving my yet again.
I have a roll, and I'm ready to go out and pound on the beaver leg for largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass fishing.
All right, so we're started. We're rolling. A little bit of a late break this morning for first day of practice. Sun's been up maybe a half hour, so I'm ready to go. Got the truck started to get down here and got the boat going, and time to get out on the beaver and see what stage of the spawn these fish are on, if they're spawning, if they're done spawning, if they're getting ready to go. Looks like the lake actually came up a foot or two since yesterday, so we got some rise in water, which will be good. See if they get up in these bushes and in the backs of some of these pockets. So that's what I'll be doing today. Looking around and trying to figure out, one, what they're doing, and then start to find out some good areas to fish for the tournament. Guys, what I'm looking at here is it's a transition bank. We got like a nice red clay right there, hard ledge over here, and nice red clay over there. And a lot of times those transition banks, they'll hold a lot of fish. And then we're going to get up on that red clay and see if there's any beds along it too. Well, it's getting a little bit late, first day of practice. Haven't found them yet. I got maybe one keeper in the boat, a couple shorts. Saw 2 or 3 decent ones shallow and a ton of carp shallow. You know, I'm starting to wonder if I'm not ahead of these bass up shallow with the water coming up so much. I think it came up about 2.5 foot last night, and probably 2.5 foot the day before. So, you know, the last 2 days, this water's come up about 5 foot. It's actually clean, clear water where it's come up. Surprisingly, I thought it might be a little bit dirty, but I guess that rainwater nice and clean and clear around here, and everywhere shallow's been pretty nice. But not seeing a lot of fish yet, not seeing much in the bushes. So I'm gonna kind of change gears. I know we're not gonna have like a bluebird sky like we got right now for the tournament. We're looking more like rain and overcast and some wind. You know, we're just coming off a little bit of a cold front here, I guess. So you got the end of a cold front and bluebird skies. So you got to kind of expect it to be a little bit tough anyway. So you can't really judge your tournament, you know, make too many decisions from your first day of practice when it's tough like this. But you still want to be on some fish and figure out where they are and better ways to catch them in the tournament. So I'm going to make a run. I'm going to fish some deeper stuff, some deeper bluff walls that might not have been affected as much, you know, where those fish might just slide up or down the water column rather than have to come all the way into the bank with that water coming up so much. So that's the plan right now. I'm going to go see if I can find some of that and find some fish. Deeper bank might work. Little smallmouth, but it's a bite. Bites are good. Spot. So this is how you know, I guess, if it's a spot or not. Right on the tongue. See that spot in there? And that's a rough spot too if you have to, if you can't see it or whatever. It's rough right on that dark spot. Plus it's different marking stuff, a lot prettier fish. Well, that actually worked out pretty slick. I ran a little bit deeper bank there in the bluff wall, throwing a little tiny rib swim bait, and just had 4 or 5 bites, at least 3 keepers. A couple of them popped off, so I don't know for sure, but they look like pretty good spots. One of them looked like a decent largie, and then landed a couple others. So that worked. So let's go look for some more of that, because that won't change regardless of conditions we have for this tournament. You know, I don't think it's something you're going to win on, but be something to put some fish in the boat, cash check, and maybe get a couple fish to get you into the cut each day. So we'll add to that and go find some good areas like that. Where I caught them was like a little bit sharper drop off, and just rolling that little swim bait down the side of it, and they were chewing it. All right, what do we got going on here, Mr. JT?
Well, we've been out there pounding the beaver all day for the first time, and we're going to, I think the water is coming up. See, we can either use a dead deer leg, which is kind of fitting. Yeah, let's use the deer leg. His hooves are a little messed up there. I'd say that's about 128 pound doe, I believe, what we got right there. Yep, about 128 pound doe. See, what we've done here is we're using the wildlife to help us in our quest for tackling more wildlife, you have to use everything in nature. You don't want to just go grab a PVC pipe or something plastic that somebody made. That's ridiculous. We're going to use nature. We're going to use the deer leg. Look, it's almost like it's pointing, going, hey, the bass, they're over there. Thanks, little deer.
What we got for dinner, fellers?
We're gonna fry some fish.
Yeah. What we got for fish? Mr. Craig's got some fish going.
Joe, the man from the land, Holland, has brought us a magnificent feast that we will dine upon graciously by him.
That's right.
This still has the bring up filet to it.
Okay, I can do that.
Guys, we're here the second day of practice, getting ready to go out and pound that beaver once again, and we're going to check our water level gauge that we made last night. Follow me. If you'll notice, here's our gauge, and it was right at the water level. So the last couple of days the water has come up a whole lot, but as you'll notice, last night, about 12 hours ago, the water level was right there, and now it's right here. Pretty ingenious, huh? Now we know that it's slowing down. It's going to stabilize out a little bit. We're using all the resources that God put out there for us. Keeping track of the water level right here at Beaver Lake.
Well, inquiring minds would like to know what an FLW heavyweight snacks on during the course of a practice day. So let's take a little gander at what this FLW heavyweight Mr. JT Kinney snacks on. Looks like he's got about a 2-pound ham sandwich.
That'd be correct, sir.
He has some fried fish. Well, and he's just got a big chunk of ham.
And I also have fruit in the boat.
Oh yeah,
you got to be healthy.
Yeah.
And some chew. And that's what keeps me busy.
Fruity chews
throughout the day. Yeah. Nope.
Day 2 of practice, we got some major fog out on the lake. Can't really run around too much. Got the boat launch right here. Got a couple nice pockets right here. So I'm gonna go in these pockets. I'm gonna slow down today. I'm gonna pitch a jig around, pitch some craws. You know, it's gonna be hard to win without getting a good jig bite going, I think, in this lake. Maybe a good crankbait bite or jig bite. So I'm gonna focus on that a little bit harder today and see what I can put together. Well, we got about 3 hours into day 2. Not quite working out yet with that flipping a jig to the bank deal or casting to the bank. I'm really just been in one slough with some coves all morning, so I'm gonna move around, try a whole nother slough, see if changing the water color does any better, and we'll change the scenery. Point on day 2 of practice on Beaver Lake. Still not finding much. I just took a little run in some beds, see if there's any beds. The water came up like 5 foot, so any beds you're gonna find are real fresh. There's all sorts of fish shallow, but the trouble is they're all carp. Great big carp spawning. They're tearing up the shallows right now, coming right out of the water, pushing each other off the lake up on the bank and stuff, running all around. See a couple bass shallow, nothing on beds or anything, but Just kind of did a quick peek through on the brush and on the nice spawning flat. But I'm gonna get back in some more pockets where the largemouth live and see if I can get them to start biting and see what they're biting on, so I can put together some kind of pattern. This beaver's known as a real pattern lake, so if you can figure something out or find something, you can run it throughout the course of the whole body of water and catch them doing it. So just got to figure that first thing out so you can find what you're going to run and do the rest of. Lunchtime. Well, it's almost done day 2 of practice. It's a little bit after 6 p.m. Haven't really found anything, man. It's hard not to get frustrated when you're out here and you're looking and working hard to find something and it's just not working out. So I got to keep mixing it up. You know, getting frustrated isn't going to catch fish, and it's not going to help me catch any fish either. So that's something you battle when things aren't going your way or going the best that it can, but or if it's really tough. But you can't let it bug you. You just got to keep digging in. You know, the next spot might be the winning spot. That's the attitude you got to have, and get rid of any negativity or frustration that might creep in. Well, that's a wrap for day 2 of practice. That's a wrap for day 2 of practice. It appears that this, I might be blocking the launch. It appears that, it appears that I might be blocking the launch. So, we, am I blocking the launch? Okay. Hey buddy, how are you? I'm fine, how about yourself? Good. I caught us some dim dim. That stuff's fun too. I don't know where he's at. Yeah. Our deer leg has sunk. Yes. Oh, it's just laying down. Black? We call these blacks. It might even keep. Day 3 of practice. Kind of downsized. Throwing a little turd. Little tiny turd. Like real lightweight. Caught a little largemouth. That one's actually got a little bit of belly on him. Pretty nice fish right there. TRD up. Let's move. This spot's pretty good. Well, it's the third day of practice, and I'm here. I came up the White River and just jumped in a pocket on the side, and decided to kind of downsize and go a little bit more finesse. So got a 6-pound test, throwing this little TRD or turd or whatever you want to call it. You can bite off the back of an ace and throw it on there. Little tiny head, and just kind of work it like a shaky head back to the boat. Just kind of flick it around, and just got a couple bites there, a couple keeper bites, which are going to be key. It's not warm yet. The weather's going to get crazy on us here. It's going to be in the 80s today, and then tomorrow it's going to be about 37 in the morning with a high of 45, I think, or 43 or something like that, they said. And then the next day, the first day of the tournament, we're looking at a high of 68. We're going to start in the mid-30s probably at blast off. So it's going to make a big change here. I think you are going to have to downsize and really slow down and get it right in front of these fish. You know, I haven't seen any beds yet. I've seen so damn many carp up shallow, but I might do a little bit of looking for beds. But you know, I don't know if these fish will stay locked on. It kind of burned me at Travis and even a little bit at Cumberland, where I'd found some beds in practice, and tournament came along and they were gone because of that nasty cold front, like the off day and the day of the tournament. So I don't really want to repeat that. I kind of learned from my mistakes as far as that goes. But if I happen to run across some beds today, I'm going to mark them, and if I'm in the area during the tournament, I'll definitely take a look. But that's the game plan for today, third day of practice. I'm going to run up the White River a little bit further, maybe up to Hickory, and see how dirty it is, and see if I can get some bites up there and start putting something together. Alright, what I'm going to do is, I'm getting out of this White River here. I ran up the White River quite a ways, and it's pretty muddy. It looks great. There's some really good looking stuff, a lot of wood in the water, a lot of good flipping opportunities, good spinnerbait opportunities. I didn't really get many bites, but I saw enough to know that there's going to be some fish caught up there. I just have to make a decision how far up I want to run. But you know, Prairie Creek's a spot that holds a lot of fish, and you know, a lot of checks get cached out of there, and it's an area I don't know very well at all. It's right next to the launch. So a lot of bass. What I'm going to do is go down and really learn the area, learn some good spots down there for, you know, if I need to get back and fish around when I get back, or maybe just to catch some fish there in the tournament. So I'm going to run down Prairie Creek. It's noon now on the last day, and spend at least a couple hours down there kind of figuring it out. For largie. I think that'll keep. Some more dinner. Old blueface. Well, that's gonna do it for practice on Beaver Lake. Man, I wish I had a lot better practice, but I got some stuff going. You know, I know in order to have a good bag, I'm gonna have to get that jig bite going. We're gonna get some cold weather here, so slow it down a little bit, maybe get a little bit deeper. There'll be some junk fishing, you know, guys that win here usually junk fish. So I'm prepared for that. I'm gonna have probably too many rods out on deck. But I got some fish located. I kind of know what where I want to catch them, you know, where I think I can catch them. So it's just a matter of finding more spots like that in the tournament. I'll be fishing a lot of spots blind, just, you know, rolling in, seeing what I like for a how the slough looks or how the cove looks with some big chunk rock and pretty steep drop-offs. You know, not all the way in the back, but pretty close to it. So that's a wrap for Beaver. Got an off day tomorrow. It's going to be real cold. I'm gonna head over and tighten everything down at the service trailer, make sure everything's good to go, put some gas, put some oil in, and do a bunch of tackle and have a fun off day.
Don't tell me you like your pasta al dente.
I don't even know what that means.
Good, because I don't like it like that. It's not going to be al dente. You know what it's going to be? It's going to be really good.
I like mine really good.
Right, I'm going to make it really good.
We would expect nothing less.
What we're building here. Blackened grouper. Alfredo sauce that I made by hand. See, I didn't practice today. I spent all day making this Alfredo sauce and angel hair pasta. And if you believe that this Alfredo sauce didn't come from a jar, I feel sorry for you.
Boys, we eat good.
I'd like to have a couple of cold pops on Tuesday evening as well.
Today's Monday.
We are getting ready to run it in our faces. I'm going to use my throat as a funnel for all of that to get it in me.
I love it.